We are back, and UFC 315 took place just 2 nights ago. And as you hear, I lost my voice at the event. It was an incredible time in Montreal. As I said at the end of my breakdown video, we will be rejoicing in Montreal as Jack Della Maddalena gets his hand raised. And I let out a scream of victory, man. And as I let out that scream of victory, I completely tore my throat to smithereens and cannot talk as I should be able to talk. So we're going to get through this recap video as best as I can. It was an incredible time in Montreal, though. They saw the Genie sitting in 300s. They tried to give me floor seats, but I turned it down and I took their 200 seats upgrade instead. So I went from 300 front row to 200 front row. It was fucking sick, man. You know, I found the town I'm in has no sports card store, so we found a sports card store. I picked up some UFC cards. I might show you later in the video what I pulled in that one, but I pulled some pretty nice cards, you know, not worth much, but you know, some cool looking cards, and that's all I wanted. So let me get right into this recap. Anyways, what a fucking event, man. This was action from the start to the finish. Man, Brad Katona got fucked on. I will just say that. So this fight card started, right? And what an event. Like, everyone thought this was going to be not an amazing event, you know? Everyone thought, oh, the names aren't that good. This is just another shit card in Canada. Man, how wrong were we? How wrong were we? We should have let them cook. Because this was actually a fucking barn burner start to finish. Brad Katona versus Behzad Almakhan. Oh my god. These guys were swinging immediately, and you could tell this is not going good for Brad Katona. Almakhan was catching him at every single moment in the first 50 seconds of this fight, and the crowd's oohing and on. And then Brad Katona looks to be shooting a takedown. Boom! Big uppercut. Big uppercut. And Behzad Almakhan scores the 50-second round one knockout. The crowd goes wild. People in my section were like fucking pissed about it. I'm like, guys, it's Brad Katona. You really thought Brad Katona's gonna win a fight just because he's a Canadian? Come on. Like, I mean, it's Brad Katona. Anyway, good win for Almakhan. Jung Young Lee versus Daniel Santos. A lot of people were picking Jung Young Lee later in the week. You know, I was getting called crazy. Oh, Willie Cat sucks. Daniel Santos put his foot on the gas in this fight. Stamped down. Got a good game plan. Takedowns. Outstruck him even on the feet. Jung Young Lee was landing good shots, but Daniel Santos is more dynamic. And I thought he was going to be. I said this in my breakdown. And I picked Daniel Santos to win a decision. And it panned out. Great win for Daniel Santos. We move on to the next fight. Great feel-good moment for Marc-Andre Barriault. I picked Bruno Silva. I thought Marc-Andre Barriault was done. I really did. And honestly, I was kind of I was trying to watch the cage instead of like the video that they had. So like I don't know how I did it, but I kind of mixed up in my head. I kind of mixed up while watching Bruno Silva and Marc-Andre Barriault. So when he has him against the fence, in my head, I thought it was Bruno Silva holding Marc-Andre Barriault against the fence, landing those elbows. And I turn to my buddy UFC Ham sitting next to me, and I go, Bruno Silva's fucked. Or I go, Barriault's fucked. And then right when he does that, Barriault lands the elbow that knocks him out. And in my head, in that moment, I realize, oh, Bruno Silva just got knocked out and obliterated, man. What a fucking win for Marc-Andre Barriault. Great feel-good moment. You know, he was tearing up in the ring. You had me tearing up, man. It was just an incredible feel-good moment. Had the crowd going nuts. Great win for Marc-Andre Barriault. You cannot be upset about this. He needed a win like this, and it's great that it happened in a hometown. Great win for him. Home country. I don't know if it's his hometown. I think it is. But man, what a win for him. He needed this. He really needed this. It looked like Bruno Silva's head was caved in, but it wasn't. Only a concussion. Moving on. Navajo Sterling versus Ivan Erslan. Man, Navajo Sterling nearly got the finish. Didn't have enough gas in the third round to get it done. I think Navajo Sterling should he needs to do some finishing instinct drills. I get he was like completely out of gas and all that, but man, you have someone flat on their face on the canvas, a minute left. You don't have to do that much to get him out of there. And like what Navajo I get the guy was trying to recover on the ground, but I feel like Navajo Sterling wasted a lot of time trying to like get the perfect position on the ground to land some of these strikes. You really don't need much. You just need a couple pepper shots and the referee will stop the fight. If you land a couple shots on him when he's face down on the mat, the referee's going to pull you off. But Navajo's trying to get down and side control and mount up from it. It's like, man, you didn't have to do all that. Throw a fucking Hendo bomb at him. That's all you need to do, and you could have had a walk-off knockout in the third round. But Navajo Sterling doesn't know how to finish a fight, it looks like. And yeah, he gets the decision win. Moving on, Modestas Bukauskas versus Ion Cutelaba. A lot of people were calling this a robbery. I thought it was a close fight. Close fights are not robberies, guys. It was a really close fight. I thought Modestas did the better work throughout this fight. And yeah, I did not think it was a robbery, if I'm being honest. Like, Cutelaba did outland him. But let me pull something else up. Let me pull something else up. Bear with me. Bear with me for a few moments here. Because the UFC strikes are showing just, he outlanded him by a crazy amount. Which, I mean, he is ahead in the strikes here. I thought Modestas was landing the better strikes, the more powerful, and I don't know, man. Maybe Ion did get robbed. Who knows? I haven't rewatched it yet. I watched it in the arena. I'm not upset Modestas won, though. I had money on this, so fuck you guys if you had Cutelaba. I don't care. Jasmine Jasudavicius versus Jessica Andrade is the next fight. Oh my god, I went so crazy for Jasmine Jasudavicius. She's one of my favorite female fighters, and she showed out in this fight, man. Like, instantly you knew there was a skill difference here. She got a takedown, got back mount, and you knew this fight was over, man. The second she got that takedown, you knew it was over. She wasn't even wasting time, man. She wasn't wasting time. She dominated Andrade in this first round to a rear naked choke finish. Oh my god, Jasmine Jasudavicius might be championship material. I gotta say it, man. And if you don't think so, you are a hater. You gotta give her respect. You gotta give her flowers. She deserves all of them. And I really hope she gets it, man. I hope she gets a title fight. I hope she does. She deserves it. She so deserves it. She's on a good win streak, putting in the work. She's the most active either female fighter or the most active UFC fighter right now, which is insane. But Jasmine Jasudavicius deserves a title shot, and I will not let her be denied anymore. She's incredible. Great win for Jasmine Jasudavicius. I'm so happy for her. And Mike Malott, back-to-back. Man, I told you guys to parlay these two. Absolute locks. What the fuck did I say? I said parlay these two. I said parlay them. Let me not get too crazy. Mike Malott versus Charles Radke. Listen. Oh my god. The sentiments going into this fight was insane. Like, Charles Radke didn't also... People are insane when one person loses a fight when they pick him. You know, people picked Mike Malott against Neil Magny, and when he lost there, they set all these boundaries in their head, and they're telling themselves, Mike Malott will never win a fight again. I'll never pick him again. It's like, he's going to obviously get winnable matches, you know? And he's going to improve from a loss that makes him look that embarrassing against Neil Magny. Obviously, he's going to go back to the lab and improve a bit more. So I hated the sentiments of, oh, Mike Malott's a little soy boy. Charles Radke, you got finished in like a minute and a half 2 fights ago. So who's a fucking pussy? Who's a soy boy? You piece of shit, Radke. I hate this guy. He's terrible. People only like him because he said an F word. Oh, he said the F word. Oh, my favorite fighter. He said the F word at a press conference. Or at the post-fight interview, actually. Oh, he said the F word. Oh. Like, is this the fucking level? Is this how we get fans now for the UFC? It's not about fighting skill or anything. It's about who can say a slur on the microphone. Like, come on. I'm so happy Mike Malott beat the fuck out of him and knocked him out. He deserved a knockout. I get so happy seeing Charles Radke get knocked out, man. Fuck this guy. Mike Malott is a beast. Charles Radke's a fucking soy boy. Suck it. Moving on to the main card, man. Benoit Saint-Denis, Cal Propalik. This was a great fight. Benoit Saint-Denis looked improved in this fight. You know, he didn't take unnecessary risks. He got a takedown, got control time in the first round, did it again in the second, got a submission win. There was a skill difference here, levels. Kyle Propalik, I've heard a lot of great things about him. This was a bad position for him to be in. You know, it's great that he took the fight and kind of saved the card a bit. I will say Kyle Propalik did save the card. But this was what was going to happen. It was either a knockout or a submission. Benoit Saint-Denis chose to not take unnecessary risks after getting bopped in his last few fights, to say the least. So, great choice for Benoit Saint-Denis. Didn't take any damage and got a nice submission win back in the win column for him. Moving on. Alexa Grasso versus Natalia Silva. In hindsight, man, I don't know why I picked Alexa Grasso. I kind of got a little... I saw the odds. The odds were... Because, listen, I've talked about this in multiple videos in the past few months. I was going to pick Natalia Silva, man. I was saying she was going to run circles around Grasso. Like, I had this fight down. I knew what was going to happen. And then a week out, I chose to go for the underdog just because she was the underdog. If this was a pick'em, I would have picked Natalia Silva. So, like, I need to not let myself be swayed by the odds sometimes. Because I knew what was going to happen in this fight. And I still picked Grasso just because she was a plus 200. In hindsight, very stupid pick. Should have went for Silva. I knew exactly how this fight was going to go. People are calling her a runner, a track star. I've been calling her the cardio kickboxing queen for the past 3 fights. This is not new. This is not new. If you watch Natalia Silva, you know how she fights. This is a normal fight for her. She's going to play at range. That is her style. This was a classic. This was a cardio kickboxing classic, guys. I told you how this was going to go. And a week out, I pussied out. I saw the plus 200. I was like, oh, I got to go for that. No, I knew how this was going to go. I don't know why. Yeah. In hindsight, really stupid pick. I was regretting it during the week, but like it's hard for me to switch my pick after I've made those videos and like already got all the engagement out on it, because it's like, what am I gonna make all of the people that saw my previous post, are they really gonna see my pick change? No. Some of them are gonna miss it. Some of them are gonna see, they're gonna assume that I had Grasso because they saw my video at the start of the week. So after I officially set it in, it is like impossible for me to actually switch my pick. I just want to say that I should have picked Silva, like I had been saying for months, though. I will learn. One of these times I'll learn. Moving on, Jose Aldo versus Zahabi. I thought he got robbed. I thought Jose Aldo got robbed. I thought he won. I thought he did the better work in the first and the second round. I can see you giving the third round to Zahabi, even with the Jose Aldo knockdown. I'm not arguing that. He got outstruck crazy. Zahabi put his foot on the gas and did what he needed to do to get the round back in his favor. But the first 2 rounds, like, they're close, yeah. They're surely close. But I just thought Jose in the first round even was exerting himself a bit more than Zahabi, trying to land better shots. I think that has to go for something, you know? Throwing everything into a shot compared to just landing them. Like, Jose was going for a finish in the first round and the second round, and then he was gassed out after a knockdown in the third. He was checking the clock, man. When I saw him checking the clock, I knew it was over. So it's a hard sight. I thought Jose won the first and the second, but it is like a close fight, not a rob. Like, I gotta hold myself to the same standards and not call it a robbery. If I'm saying stuff like the Kutalaba Modestus is a close fight, not a robbery, then I gotta hold the same standards when it's a guy I pick that lost. Close fights are not robberies. This was a really close fight. You could give the third and the second to Zahabi. You could even give the first. Yeah, it's a tough one. Close fights aren't robberies. This is not a robbery. It was a close fight. It's just unfortunate the scenario Jose Aldo's been in since he returned to the UFC. He should have got better names. But listen, people thought this was going to be a boring fight. This was not a boring fight. Zahabi's a striker. He's a banger. He's game. I hated the sentiment coming into this fight that Zahabi was going to be a boring fence holder like Mario Batista. Have you seen Zahabi fight? That's not how he fights. He's a striker. A good game planner, but he's a striker. And he knows what he's doing in the ring. People acting like this guy's a chump. I hated that sentiment. He's trained by one of the best coaches for MMA, Firas Zahabi. I hated this fucking sentiment. People are casuals. Anyways, moving on to the great timing on that one, because I picked Manon Fiorot and I looked like a casual there. Shevchenko, brutal beating on her, and it even had me snoozing at moments. Listen, I was like 12 beers deep at the time. I was on the nod a bit. We had front row seats, so I had the prime handlebars to just lean on and just nod off, So for like maybe 2 rounds of this fight, maybe it was the later end. It was like 3 rounds, I'll say. It was the 3rd, 4th, and the 5th round. I'm fucking snoozing, and I missed most of this. I had to rewatch it. Shevchenko beat her up, man. Manon had moments, but Shevchenko just did more. She got, there was a late knockdown too. So, she just did way more than Fiorot. It was clear at the end that it's Shevchenko won this one. I don't think that's the end for Fiorot. It was still a close fight. I just think maybe nobody can beat Valentina, man. Maybe it was just a terrible fluke loss against Grasso. Maybe nobody's going to beat her again. Maybe she retires champion after another fight or 2. I don't know. Jasmine Jasudavicius would be the one fighting her though, right? Yeah. So yeah, if Jasmine fights Valentina, I'm going to have to back Jasmine Jasudavicius because I've been backing everyone else against Valentina, so yeah, I cannot wait to back Jasmine Jasudavicius against Valentina and get my heart broken. I cannot wait. So that'll definitely happen within the year. Maybe next year. Who knows? Moving on to the main event, man. Oh, my God. This is where I lost my voice, I'll say. This fight is where I lost my voice. Specifically, when Jack got his hand raised. That's when I lost my voice, because I'm screaming at the top of my lungs, let's fucking go! Just at the top of my lungs. I might insert a clip. Maybe I'll insert a clip here. And yeah, I was going nuts. Bilal Muhammad, listen, the sentiment about this fight is that Bilal Muhammad's game plan was bad. Did you guys watch the same fight I did? Because I saw Bilal shooting takedowns. People are saying Bilal did not shoot takedowns in this fight. He did. He shot 9. That's a lot of takedowns. That's nearly 2 a round. People are acting like he did not shoot a takedown, and he nearly, on average, shot 2 a round. I know all of those takedowns weren't all, I know it wasn't 2 a round in the terms of, actually, tracking-wise, but on average, nearly 2 a round. Jack Della was not here to get taken down, man. Craig Jones is legit. And maybe Jack Della can beat Islam. I just want to say, guys, I don't think it's nuts. The betting odds opened at even odds in this fight, which is, I probably would give Jack an underdog at least, but they'll probably sway to an underdog closer to the fight, I'll say. But listen, Jack's going to be bigger than Islam. Islam, everyone's going to be saying, Islam walks around at 170. but they don't even know what that means. You know, Jack Della walks around at 200. So, who's the bigger one? Jack Della cuts to 170. Islam cuts to 155. There are going to be people in this fight saying, oh, but Islam cuts a crazy amount of weight. He's still a 155er that had trouble against Dustin Poirier, who's a 145er. I can't say that. He did move up pretty good to 155 for most of his career, but he started at 145. So Islam, half of his reign is against 145ers, and people are going to pick him to beat the 170-pound champion that just denied takedowns against the last 170-pound champion. And they're just going to say, oh, but Islam's grappling is just comparatively 10 times better than Bilal's. And who knows? But they're both Dagestans training Dagestan wrestling. And Craig Jones seems to have a Dagestan handbook that he's handing out to all these fighters, you know. So it's tough for me to go, these Dagestans still have a stranglehold on this sport, when it seems like Craig Jones has figured out the grappling. You know, Volk versus Islam, the one, not the short notice one, on a week's notice, when Volk was drunk as fuck coming off the couch. That one doesn't count. Go back to the first one where he game planned, he trained specifics. You know, Volkanovski made that a really close fight. And that could be a close fight, not a robbery. Man, my voice is fucked. Close fight, not a robbery. But, you know, Volk could have won that first fight. I just want to say, it's not crazy. Not crazy to say Volk could have won that first fight. You know? And that's a 145er. And Jack Della's 170. He's going to be massive compared to the guys Islam's been used to. And does Jack Della compare to Moicano at all? I don't think so. Yeah, I think Jack Della's going to mop the floor with Islam Makhachev. I cannot wait to see him bring violence back to 170 and completely dismantle Dagestan wrestling and just Dagestans in general, man. This is the fucking Dagestan hunter. We've got one, guys. We've got one. They thought they had us figured out. Right when they thought they had us figured out, we changed the game. This one's for the boys. Jack Della, baby. This one felt good. This one felt so good. And I guess before I go, just for you guys sticking around, I'll show you my cards I pulled in Montreal. Let me pull these out and show you some of the cool cards I pulled. This is, I'm done with the recap, so if you want to click off, you can. But this is for the guys that want to see some cool cards. So I won't show you all of them because we'd be here for hours, man. But here are the cool ones. You know, I got, right when I pulled this, Valentina Shevchenko, I knew I was cooked, to be honest. I pulled that one. I'm like, oh, there's no way Manon's winning now that I pulled that. I pulled Roman Dolidze. Just the card itself is kind of cool. Like, it was I don't know any of the series or whatever it actually is, but Fired Up DDP, that's a cool one. GSP versus Johnny Hendricks, pretty cool. You can see on the left side there, I don't know if you can read it, it says grudge match. Pretty cool there. Path Blazers Dan Hendo, sick card. Stargazing rookie Ian Gary, you know, pretty cool. My House Charles Oliveira, the purple variant of the card, pretty fucking sick. And also a My House Conor McGregor, which is sick. I love that one. I was so hyped when I pulled that one. It's not worth much. It's like a $2 card, but I don't give a fuck. I just like the look of them. Anyways, that's the recap of Montreal. Pretty sick event, man. One more time, a great event start to finish. I'm really glad I went. Anyways, I hope you like the recap. I'll be doing my picks for Morales versus Burns tomorrow. That will be Tuesday night. I'll try to get that done. Hopefully my voice is back or a bit better, but We'll be back for that tomorrow. Also, look out for my sparring sessions best bets episode for the card, which I will be filming tomorrow. So that will be out probably around Thursday this week. Look out for that as well on the sparring sessions channel. I will add them in the description. So yeah, that's the recap. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. We'll be back here for more soon. Thank you for watching.